Hi, this is Andy Brown with Boomers Offshore. Today's video is going to be concentrated on all of you meat lovers out there. I like a good steak just like everybody else, but unfortunately Costa Rican beef kind of sucks. It's tough, it's tasteless, it's very, very lean. So what we've elected to do is to buy our meat from an importer. The company is called Carne San Martin. And this video is designed to go ahead and show you what we do when we get the meat, how we process it, and most importantly, how we go ahead and reduce our costs dramatically. So stay tuned and check out what's going on. Well, here's our victim. This is a 5.8 kilo or roughly 12.8 pounds of pure Delmonico steak. What I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and trim it down, get rid of the silver skin on the outside, and then cut it down in steaks. This entire slab of meat cost me $46, roughly 23,600 colones. And so our exercise this morning is to go ahead and trim this thing up, get it sliced down, and let's check out and see how many meals $46 is buying us. Starting out with the weapons of the trade. Get yourself a good sharp knife and a knife sharpener. Get this thing pretty well sharpened up because you're going to have to be trimming off some very thin slices of silver skin. Okay, the knives are ready to go. Let's go to work. All of the beef from Carne San Martin comes vacuum packed in these big old plastic bags. They do a lot of the major butchering in Nicaragua, but what we have to do now is to go ahead and just do the final trim. In other words, get it ready for human consumption. And I'm just going to begin the trimming process of going in and getting rid of this extra fat and byproduct that they call silver skin. What this is going to do, it's going to make the beef easier to cook. It'll be faster to cook. It's going to be easier to eat. That's for darn sure. This is the kind of crap I want to get rid of. Serves no purpose. I'm just hoping that I don't run this knife through my hand. If I can avoid that, I will be one happy camper. It doesn't really require any special skills other than just some decent hand-eye coordination so you don't lose fingers. Once all of this is fully trimmed out and we have a nice slab of beef here ready for the next stage of processing, what I'm going to look to do is to cut these things down into individualized steaks. And I'm going to put them in plastic freezer bags using my vacuum saver appliance. I can store these steaks in the freezer for months at a time. So now, this is what's left. I've got this beautifully trimmed piece of meat, and now we break this into individual dinners. So here we go. My goal is to go ahead and start cutting these things down from the right side, moving this way, and winding up with larger, fatter steaks because the meat itself is getting thinner and thinner as we go. So I'm going to start out with a steak approximately an inch and a half thick. And it's going to be a big steak. It's going to be this wide. So I'm going to cut it right about here. There is very little fat, little bit of gristle running through here for flavor, but no silver skin. And this is going to be a portion, this is going to be a single steak for Fran and I to have for dinner. We'll normally just grill this up. I'll have one portion here, she'll have one portion here. And with a good salad, potato, and everything else, this is really about all you need to have. This is about maybe an 8-ounce portion of steak. This would be considered an 8-ounce ribeye. And we'll cut this in half when we're ready to go ahead and eat it. But this is what's going to go into the bag. So that's one meal. Let's see what $46 worth of meat has just purchased. I've got 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steak dinners. I've got a 10, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 dinners, and 16 when you consider the stew meat. This is the basura, this is the garbage. This is all the silver skin. There's very little meat, there's very little protein involved with any of this crap. This goes into a plastic bag and gets thrown away. And I'm guessing here there's probably a little over maybe a pound and a half. Okay, as I said, it took about 15 minutes to go ahead and cut all this beef down, and just look at this. We've got 16 meals here, and based on $46 total purchase price, that breaks it down to about $2.90 per meal. $2.90 for roughly an 8-ounce steak on the average. So now I begin the wonderful task of putting these things into sucking freezer bags and just throwing them away in the freezer. Well, this has been a pretty interesting exercise. You've seen all the steaks that we were able to make. And here's what's really even more interesting. We've got top grade Nicaraguan beef that we've just bought ourselves. We cut up, prepared, and put in the freezer. We've got about 16 meals that we're making for that $46 investment. Now, Fran just got back from Automercado and went over there and saw their steaks, which, by the way, were identical to the ones that we've got. Now, here's the kicker. Our steaks priced out at 3,600 colones per kilo. At 2.1 pounds per kilo, that's roughly $3.50 a pound. The same steaks, although they may have been Costa Rican steaks over at Automercado, were 13,680 per kilo, roughly $13.50 a pound. $3.50 a pound versus $13 a pound. I'll tell you what, for the effort that I put into trimming the silver skin off and cutting these things down and putting them in the suck bags myself, baby, I'll take that deal any day of the week. So once again, this has been Andy Brown from Boomers Offshore. saying bon appetit, thanks for watching, and we'll be back again.